Shalom, giving all praise to Jehovah. Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom to the whole for the elect out there. It's 5:26 a.m. and it's one day before May 1st, 2023. Hopeful year of all prophecies coming to pass by the power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Anyway, I was just going through some videos and stumbled upon YFI Watchman for Israel in the video that, well, I did put in Mark of the in the search engine, so this video came up. Now they're saying that this is 2 months. It seemed like it was a lot longer than that. We had this back and forth. Because it was 2 months ago. Everything's moving slow. Anyway, you know, they did a video. It was like a thing with the MOTB. Oh, anyway, by the way, let me give this a title. The title is what prophecy will happen before the deliverance and the destruction. What I mean by destruction is the destruction of the system, Esau being the end of the world, and Jacob being the beginning of it that followeth. There's a major prophecy that will happen, and we always talk about it. You already know what I'm going to say. And you're going to really boil it down to GMS and Sakari, because Sakari teaches the same thing that the MOTB is the fulfillment of Revelation 13. So you have these guys, these upstarts that, by the way, you're looking at the screen here. This is 666, the Mark of the Beast, and it's 4 hours, 18 minutes and 5 seconds into a 5-hour video. And we were on there, myself and certain other brothers from GMS. We were on there from the first hour, the second hour, the third hour. Nothing about the subject. I mean, it was like heading into the subject. And I guess they did that. I don't know. I can't read their mind. I guess they did that to figure, well, if any of the GMS men come on here, you know, we're not going to get into the meat of the subject until like the 4th hour in. And if you notice on the screen, you see the blue letter. Where you think they got the blue letter from? Did the angel give them the blue letter? No. They got the blue letter from watching GMS, not watching ISUPK, not watching IUIC. They could have watched Sakari, but the blue letter, the popularity of the blue letter came from myself, which I introduced it to the other apostles and the other bishops and elders. So it started the blue letter. Going to the blue letter, we started that. The etymology online, we were the ones that pushed it. So you got everybody pretty much. Let's go to the blue letter. Let's go to the blue letter. I also go to the commentary. Let me bring this up, and I'll tell you why I go to the commentary. There's a good reason why I go to the commentary, and I go to the Bible Hub just to see what they think, because a lot of times they say the same things that we say. Like, for example, okay, this one, okay, it speaks about Sheol or hell, and they tell you that it's talking about a grave. And not too many words. They tell you that it's talking about a grave. They would agree that it's talking about a grave or a pit. These scholars are not deep, and the Most High is not dealing with them at all. Like if you go to John the Baptist, it links you back to Isaiah's prophecy and my, Malachi's prophecy, but they don't. But they come short of using the word reincarnation because that's not a Christian. That's not a part of the Christian belief. So all these people are wrong. We're the only ones that got it right. So you already know the answer to the question of the topic of this video. What prophecy is going to take place before the deliverance and the destruction of this system? Because you have camps out there teaching that, we're teaching the word, and then all of a sudden the Lord is going to come out, crack them skies with the angels. Second in command will be Michael, the archangels, and the rest of the angels. And they're going to come and destroy this place, and we're going to be delivered. That's not going to happen until this thing happens. That we here at Great Muslim have been teaching since we got on YouTube and before we got on YouTube. But we were teaching that the mark of the beast, about the MOTB, before Alex Jones was Alex Jones. We were teaching the MOTB when Alex Jones was Bill Hicks, the comedian Bill Hicks. That's right. That's Alex Jones is really not Alex Jones. That's Bill Hicks, and he admitted it in one video. He said, "Oh, you got me. I am Bill Hicks, the comedian." Because they put out this line that Bill Hicks died. Bill Hicks, the name died. You can put your name to sleep, and come up with a new name. And that's called straw. What is it called? Straw man. Not a straw man argument, but a straw man. Everything that's written in all caps, your driver's license, everything, your credit cards, everything that you got, you sign, you write your name in. What is it? Cap, lowercase, last name, cap, lowercase. Then when you get the card, everything is in cap. Everything is in caps. You watch the news. You see all the stuff that's written on the news, the ticker tape on the news, like CNN, everything's written in cap. Now, if I was to write a letter to you in all caps, you would say, "Look, don't you know English? You're not supposed to." But they never question these news companies. You don't use all caps. But guess what? All caps signify that that's a straw man. You represent your straw man. That's a whole other argument. I'm not going to get into that. But let me get back into this. Because I'm ranting on something else. Got into the Bill Hicks thing. But anyway, you can die. You can kill that name. Prince did it. Prince had a symbol for a name. And what was it? What was that all about? Let me know in the comment board. What was that all about? What was that all about? Why did Prince all of a sudden, he's no longer Prince? He's a symbol. He's a symbol. It was a symbol of a combination of the masculine and the feminine energies. And then people started calling him the artist formerly known as Prince, and people would laugh at it. They didn't understand the science behind it. There's a reason why Kanye West, when they say this is Kanye West, he said, "Nope, I'm not Kanye West, I'm Ye." Why? There's a reason behind it. There's a technical, lawful reason behind it. Richard Pryor, when he made this movie of his life and he started it, did he call it the Richard Pryor story? There's a reason why he didn't call it the Richard Pryor story. The name of the movie was JoJo Dancer. Why JoJo Dancer? There's a reason behind it. And you can give me the answer on it. That's what I mentioned. That's why I mentioned the straw man. That's why I mentioned the straw man. You can sell your name in perpetuity to somebody else. They own you literally. You sign your life away. You sign your name away. So Jake doesn't even understand. Jake don't know what's going on. Jake got their head stuck up their asses. So anyway, Let me stop ranting. Anyway, when you watch this video, I'm at 418, right? So let me just go back. I just want to look at some of these comments here. And this was done on a Saturday. We was in the crib. Okay, so it says here, Malik Judah, them GMS weirdos act like children. This just made your camp look desperate and false teachers. So that would include Sakari, that would include HODC. And by the way, these guys, and I'm not saying, I didn't say, oh, well, I haven't got on these guys. Let me get, no, I just ran into it. So I said, let me go back to that, that video. Because they're definitely deceivers, whether they know it or not, whether they sincere or not. Maybe they sincerely think that the Lord is dealing with them. The Lord is not dealing with them. Anybody at this time, here we are 7 months away from 2024, and you still going against the MOTB, and the technology is just overwhelming. Okay, what I got to do, let me do this. Okay, 418, let me come way back over here. Come way back over here. All right. Let's bear with me for a minute. Hey, the scripture says pride go up before a fall. And the scriptures also speak about not being a novice, less being lifted up with pride. He come under the condemnation of the wicked one, the devil. And these guys are full of pride. They came to us 2 or 3 times. Shalom Tahar, I watch you on YouTube, Shalom. And they would be out in a circle, they would throw scriptures out and all that. But then we didn't know that they were going to Zabak's camp and other camps, and then they got with some unity camps with Sakari and other camps. So they didn't come to the straight gate. And they know that different camps teach slightly different things. Zabak doesn't teach that. If Zabak is still going against what we said about the MOTB, he might not be the elect. I mean, we love the brother, but like I said, it's 7 months from 2024. My personal belief that 2024 can very well be mid to late 2024, could be when they introduce the chip. And then late in 2024, maybe 2025, they'll make it mandatory. I'm just checking these. Okay, this is Malik Judah. We don't get understanding through the word charagma. We get understanding through precepts. Well, sometimes you have to, the prologue of Ecclesiasticus says, I'm just paraphrasing, I'm not going to go to it, somebody can put it in the thing, description. So, okay, let's go with that. Let's go with the precepts, which is the scriptures. If you go to Acts 12 and 4, and it says, intending that after Easter, that means you got to celebrate Easter. You got to put a bunny suit on and color eggs. But we don't go into root words. When you go to John 3:16, what's the quickest way to when a Christian roll up and say, well, God so loved the world, it says world, the whole world. What's the quickest way to cut that? The quickest way to cut that is say, what does the word world mean right here? There's 3, 4, 5 definitions for the word world just in the New Testament. You have word, sometimes you come across the word world. It might mean oikomeni, which is the entire earth. Sometimes you come across the word world, which the translation in the Greek would be eon, which is a time of rulership. The Egyptians ruled for a number of years. Babylon, the ancient Babylon ruled for 7 years. They didn't even do the 7 years. The kingdom got cut off, I believe, was 67 years. But it was in that window of 70 years. So that's what the word world eon means. So you have to go into that's anytime you go to these Christian scholars, they go into root words. Let's go back. Let's come back over here. Bear me for a minute. Okay, they went into the Hebrew. And then when you look into the Hebrew for sure, when it says hell in an Old and New Testament, you to get the understanding, you got to go into the Hebrew, and then on the Greek, if it's in the New Testament and it reads pit, it says pit or hell. So you can't just say, well, precept must be upon precept. Sometimes you have to go into the definitions. Okay, this one they didn't go into too much, going into the root of the word, etymology, where it is again, Hebrew. It says grave. See, Christians buy books on Christianity from from scholars, and they'll go into words. They'll go into the Greek. They'll go into the Hebrew. So when they actually set up this charagma, there's going to be a lot of people that follow these various leaders in Israel that's going to be bugged out and confused. They're not going to know what to do. And they're going to run to their false teachers for answers. And if their false teachers took the bag and they said there's nothing wrong with it, you go ahead and take it, guess what? They're going to take it. We teach the men in GMS and the women for that matter, we teach you the whole truth. So if we go off, you can see that we're going off. What's that movie? The Fight Club, the Fight Club with this guy Ed Norton and Brad Pitt. There was a point with the guy Ed Norton, Brad Pitt was his alter ego. So he was the one that set up that whole. Well, that's what these guys are. These groups that get these guys that come out of nowhere and they join them. That's nothing but the Fight Club spirit. That's all it is. The Fight Club spirit. Get a lot of guys that follow this one guy or three guys. So this guy was an alter ego. Pitt was an alter ego to the Ed Norton character, and then Ed Norton saw that he was going off, so he told them guys stop doing it. And then they said, well, you told us that you was going to tell us not to do it. So guess what? They went against him. They went against him. You should watch the movie. See, there's the Hebrew. Why are they putting Hebrew in here? Now there's a Greek. No Greek came up. I mean, because this is of course Greek is not going to come up because this is the Old Testament. But if you go into the scripture on matter of fact, let me do this. Let me just go into this. Let me go to Revelation. Revelation 13 and 16. You're going to see Greek. There you go, Greek. I'm trying to find Cambridge should have went into the Greek. Okay, so that, if you're familiar with the Greek, that's the word for charagma. A mark, charagma. And we gone over this over and over and over and over again. If you can't get it, if you can't see it, it's because the Most High blinded your eyes, blinded you. Then you have the root for charagma, which is karax. Then you have the root to karax, which is grapho. Here it is again. Another solution is to think of the charagma. Here's the ma charagma, a red stamp, which and they even mentioned the Book of Maccabees, so they familiar with the Apocrypha. See, you listen to this guy Vocab Malone. He said, "Well, we don't accept the Apocrypha; it's not canon." Well, these scholars do. They mention the Apocrypha. It's right here, the Book of Maccabees. It says a mark. The word for mark is not the same as Galatians 6 and 17. From now on, let no man trouble me, for I bear in my body the marks of the Lord. That's not an actual figure. The Lord, Yahushua, didn't put a chip in the Apostle Paul. The mark is a stigmata, so you can understand. You go to a particular, you're dealing with some chick that lives in a project in Brooklyn, and then you cool with some of the dudes out there, and they say, she a big hoe. So what does that mean? That means there's a stigma on it that I don't know about. Beverly, she a hoe. She ain't nothing but a hoe. She done slept with half of the dudes in the stand. So that's a stigma. Nobody put a chip in her ass, all right? Let me see. Okay. But the image is as that of the brand as a physical thing put upon slaves to identify them. So when they give you that charagma, you're going to be a slave that loves your master. The digital all. We sound like broken records, but we got to keep going through it. So when it happens, you can't say, "Oh, I didn't know." If the Most High opened my eyes, if the Most High sent down a man that would show me, well, the Most High did send out men that would show you or are showing you, which are the men of GMS. We're the premier group when it comes to the MOTB. We're the premier group when it comes to the topic of the MOTB. You want to know anything about the MOTB? You got to get with the men of Great Millstone, starting with the apostles on down, from the apostles to the bishops to the elders. They're all going to tell you the same thing. Next group is the Sakari. And why does the Sakari teach it the same way? I don't know what they're going to say, but I believe that they they came up under us. The leader of the Sakari came up under us. So a lot of this, majority of the stuff that he teaches is what he learned from us. He did tell Sarnetta said, "Well, why are you with GMS or all the groups? You got ICPK, you got IUIC, you got this group, you got that. Why are you following the men of GMS?" And then this is what Alazar said. He said, because, how did he say it? He said, because, he didn't say because they are the Church of Berea. He said, because they're like the Church of Berea. If you know anything about the Church of Berea, the Apostle Paul commended them and said that you are more honorable than the Church of Thessalonica. So there were certain churches that were on higher levels than other churches. That's the proof right there, Acts 17. I believe it's Acts 17. And then he said why he honored them more than the Church of Thessalonica. He said because they searched the scriptures to see if these things were so. They like Bishop Nathaniel. Those people are blindly following this guy. If he decides to break down the beast and say that's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, guess what? They're going to be teaching that. He taught the thing about the lake of fire. He never taught that. He's teaching that the lake of fire in Revelation is written in two parts of the script, Revelation. It said that the lake of fire, he said that hell is a condition, which really hell is a pit, it's a grave. When you die, they put you in the sepulcher, they put you in the pit, they put you in the coffin. That's hell. That's what the word hell means. But he said, well, but the lake of fire is in a place of eternal damnation. That's a Roman Catholic doctrine. And that's why we believe, that's why we jump up and say this man might have took the bag. Comfy taught it. Comfy said that the Apollyon is down there in hell. When you go to hell, you open up the door to hell and he punches you in the face and he tells you, welcome to hell. I remember he said that. But then it was people just blindly follow him. And I believe he said that before he said he was a comforter. So he said, if they believe that bullshit, and I made that up from watching the movie Hellboy, I'm going to tell them I'm the God sent comforter. And these niggas believed it, man. So guess who fucked up? High Priest Ariel fucked up and High Priest Shaw fucked up. May the Most High have mercy on them. If they're truly men of the Lord, they'll come out of that and they'll repent or whatever. If not, they're going to have to be destroyed. It says in the so-called third book of Maccabees, which, stupid as it is, has perhaps some historical foundation. We are told that Ptolemy Philopator ordered the Jews of Alexandria to be branded, physically branded, with an ivy leaf, the cognizance of Dionysus. That was a god. Dionysus and Bacchus. When you went out there, you partied in the street, like the carnival in Brazil. That goes back to the Bacchus. I believe in certain Western Indian islands, they have a carnival, but it goes in the spirit. That goes to the spirit of the Greek god Dionysus and or Bacchus. When they get drunk, it says, the scriptures speak about chambering or chamberlain, whatever, however you say it, I believe it's chamberings. It says, one may compare also the sealing of the servant of the Most High in chapter 7 of the book of Revelation, which that's not a physical thing. And what is that? Ezekiel 9:4, where it speaks about the mark. The Most High is not giving out chips. The Most High got his chip, Esau got his chip. No. The mark is like a spirit. It's a seal in Revelation 7. So the mark that Esau is going to give you is similar to the mark that Ptolemy Philopator ordered the Jews of Alexandria to be branded. They're going to take a hot iron and they're going to put it on your arm. So ultimately, they're going to put an actual charagma, and it's already out here. There's no excuse. I can understand if you buck up against what we said when we first got on YouTube, but guess what? The technology's already out here. People are already getting chipped. How much more proof do you need? You're gonna be made to look bad, and this thing is right around the corner. You camps that are teaching opposite as to what we're teaching as far as the charagma is concerned. You're going to have to do a lot of explaining, but maybe you're not going to have to do a lot of explaining because Jake is easily led like a sheep to the slaughter. You got a thing called a Judas goat. I believe some of these guys sold out. There's no way in the hell you can be in Israel, go back to the One West days. And then here I've been a teacher for going on 40 years. But I'm bugged out because I'm making some bullshit up. I follow Alex Jones. That's where I got it from. We taught this before Alex Jones came on the scene. All right? We haven't changed. We haven't changed the way we broke it down, unlike them. So anyway, forgive me for my rant. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. I haven't looked at this one. Pulpit commentary. It said he called us all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark. The word is karagma, which is a physical thing, and their right hand and their physical right hand or left hand. What about the left hand? If you get in the left hand, you'll be all right. If you get in the butt cheek, you'll be all right. Or go ahead. You go ahead and get it in your left hand. Tell them you want it in your left butt cheek. And then when the ships come, when the ships come, Richard, inside joke. When the ships come and you don't get beamed up, then you're gonna think, well, maybe there was that chip that put him out the left butt cheek. It says, or like the scripture says, then it shall be known that a prophet has been among you. Ezekiel 33. Then it shall be known who are my chosen, meaning who are the true men of the Most High. And a true man of the Most High would teach, among other things, that the MOTB is the fulfillment of, the charagma, the C-hip, whatever you want to call it. If you're teaching anything else, the Most High is not. You know what you have? You have a map with 2 pages missing out of it. You get so far, then you go to the next page of the map, and then you find out it's missing. So what's going to happen? You're lost. So you guys got a map with a page or two, a couple of pages missing out of the map. We have a brand new map. We have a map with all the pages in it. If there's 50 pages in the map, every page is in there. It's not going to be missing page 22 and 23. You go from 21, okay, we're this far, this close to our destination. So let's go to the next page. The page, you find out your kid snatched the pages out. So guess what? You're lost. So you guys have maps with pages missing out of it. It said that there be given them a mark, which is a physical thing, on their right hand or on their foreheads. He may give found in the textus receptus, or accepted text, is unsupported by the uncio, whatever that means. They may blah 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 blah. So they're giving you a lot of gobbledygook because the scholars really don't understand it. It also mentions right here. It mentions a marked. It says on the person by the ivy leaf symbol of Dionysus or Bacchus. Let me look up the word Bacchus. Oh, by the way, we're in the midst of a fifth generation warfare, fourth generation warfare, fifth generation warfare. Okay, Bacchus. In ancient Greece and Rome, a god of wine and giving of ecstasy, identified with Dionysus. So when you go out there clubbing, you look, let's be real. When I used to go out there clubbing, I went out there to get a woman. That's it. I played the little game of dancing with him and talking with him, buying him a drink. Ultimately, my goal is to get a number and to meet with her and to have sex with her. And I tell him, I said, look, I'm here to meet a woman, get a number, and have sex with her. That's it. So, in being in that spirit, I don't do that no more, but in being in that spirit, that's the spirit of, partying in the name of Bacchus. That's where it came from. Was it chambering, right? So these women that you meet out there, they're all hoes, straight up, all hoes, man. All of them are hoes. All of them is hoes. All of them got men. Most of them got men, or they just got broken up, or they're about to get broken up. Any woman that no longer wants to be with you is because she's got another man. She met a guy on the job, flirting. She, and we all went through that. Even this guy, Chris Rock even said that. But anyway, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Let me go to Bacchus. I don't gotta go no more. Let me do this. Let me do this. Now let me come over here. Let me play this and then I'm gonna close it. You see, these guys got proud looks on them. They're not gonna start the video by saying, I wanna, give a shout out to the men that I came up under, GMS, Zabak, this group, that group. These guys are full of pride. And they're young. They're new in this thing. They're new in this thing. And you got a lot of blind souls following these guys. And not just them, any other group that teaches against what we teach concerning the MOTB. But I'm going to let you listen, and then I'm going to close. Where did he get Yahushua from? Did he get it from Nate? Because Nate calls on Christ. Where did he get Yahushua from? If he got it, well, I got it from Sakari. Well, where did Sakari get it from? Sakari got it from GMS. IUIC in their name, Israel United in Christ. Who's the King Christ? Who's the King Christ? Did they ever go around the ISUPK? I don't believe so. So Zabak teaches Yahushua, and we teach Yahushua. So he put it in his mind, yeah, that must be his name. I'm going to call him Yahushua. The blue letter, he didn't get that from Zabak. He got that from us. Pride goeth before a fall, man. Says not being a novice, least being lifted up with pride, he come under the condemnation of the devil. If he doesn't change his way and humble himself, these guys right here, they're gonna come up under the condemnation of the devil. They're gonna be condemned. Where did he get that from? Did he get that from watching Rex Humbard? He got that from us, or somebody from One West. I'm sorry. Let me come over here. I'm way in the beginning. Let me go to 418. But this teaching style is based on, former One Westers. Let me go right here. It has nothing to do with a barcode. And 2 lines over here. So here's Israel, right? So he's in danger of adding to the word and taking away from the word because he took away something and he's adding something to it. He said that it doesn't mean what GMS says it means. It means this. So we know what can happen to us if we teach the word wrong. That's why the scriptures say, study to show thyself approved, a workman needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. You got to study this thing. You got to go through it. You got to go through the root words. Why do you think they're going into the blue letter? And the blue letter goes off at about 5% of the time. 90%, 95%. They're correct, but about 5% they go off on certain words. Pull back up what we had. So each one of those characters have a numerical value: 10, 200, 100, 1, 8 to 30. You got to add it till it's done. So go down. There's 3, 4, 9. Yeah, 3, 4, 9 is 1, 6. And then 1 and 6 and 7. That's his name till it's done. So Esau 6, Israel is 7. Because we were made to be perfect and upright. Esau is made for what? So now he's fast talking like a used car salesman, which is a fulfillment of Romans 16, 6, was it Romans chapter 16, verse 16, 17, or 16, 17, and 18, fair words and fine speeches. He deceives the heart is simple. Now it says right here, get more subscribers, GMS. Well, this is a precious thing. This world is for the many, the world to come is for the few. So a lot of these different brothers that are pushing Israel and on the streets, a lot of them are not going to make it. That's why we say we're the hopeful elect. This is not for everybody. It speaks about wide is the gate that leadeth to, you got the straight gate, which is narrow, and you got the wide gate, which leadeth to destruction. So they're going by a numbers game. For destruction. You understand that? Right, go back. That's why Obadiah 1:18 says, right, the house of Jacob shall be a fire, the house of clay, and the house of Esau for what? Where did you learn about Esau? I'm pretty sure he went to a Baptist church, Methodist church. His pastor never taught him about Esau. When did he first hear about Esau and Jacob and Israel? When did he first learn about the 12 tribe sign? From us. Where do we get it from? From the men over us. This is like a comedian. There was this one guy, this Mexican comedian, very funny, but it was found out that this guy was stealing jokes. He would go to other comedy shows and listen to other comedians, and he would steal their jokes. And then they were saying, well, that's the joke that I said. He's using my jokes. And there were certain comedians that would go to his shows, and they would be in the audience heckling them. And they would say, that's my joke. That's my joke, man. I did it the last month ago. You stole my joke. You don't hear about the guy no more. And there's a lot of comedians that do that. Robin Williams was accused of stealing jokes. Comedians do that. They'll listen to other comedians and they'll steal their jokes. So that's what this is similar. They stealing our jokes. They're saying everything that GMS is saying. But let me say this. If all the Israelite groups taught the same thing, which the scriptures say, if all the Israelite groups taught the same thing concerning the MOTB, he would be teaching it. He'd be teaching it. If Zabak, if they said, well, Zabak, so the mark of the beast is a microchip, of course. Sakari, the mark of the beast is a microchip. General Yohana, oh, it's a chip. It's a chip. IUIC is a chip. Do you think they're going to be bucking up against it? Huh? No, they'll be saying it's a chip. Just like Friday, sundown, and Saturday, sundown, you still got people that teaching that, which they're clearly going off on. The Sabbath is based upon the new moon, just like every other high holy day. The new moon is not no damn full moon. It's when the new moon comes in when you can't see nothing. You look up in the sky and you can't see nothing. A little crescent of light you can see. A sliver of light you can see. That's it. That's the new moon. Where do you get that from? Obadiah 1:18. How does he know that Esau is a so-called white man? You got other Israelite groups that teach that they're Japhet. Some of them teach that they're Arabs. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse number 18, it reads, hey, the house of Jacob
He said, what we're teaching is madness. Okay, this is on record. This is madness. This man is full of pride. You can see he got pride in his eye. They all got pride in their eyes, and they're gonna go down hard. And not just them, all them other groups that are leading people astray. Let's listen. The beast, huh? And we went into it and showed you what the number of his name is and what Israel is. Oh, let's get to the scripture. This is Ryan, Apostle Ryan Lob teaching. He's going into the barcode because a barcode is like the prelude to the beast system. Everything is under. I remember when there was no barcodes. The barcode system came in, I believe, somewhere mid 70s, late 70s, maybe, because you just had to ring things in. You had to, ring it in. Your fingers. Then they put in a new like a computer system in. When they scan the food. I remember when there was no scanner. Now, when they scan the food, when you buy something from the store, anything, you do a self checkout. You gotta find where the barcode is and scan it. That's a prelude to this system. Now, when the final stages is to do away with paper money and set up a government how can I say this, digital system, which they call the CBDC, which another thing is going to be the Fed now, which is the Fed dollar. CBDC is the same thing. It's all going to be linked up to the government, and they're going to know exactly what you spent, how you spent it, and they say in certain documents that they're going to give you a time limit to to get what you got to get. If you don't get it, it's going to expire. So you have a time limit to spend your money so they can keep you at a certain level of living. Then ultimately, all this stuff with people breaking into stores, looting and breaking, I believe most of them are set up that way, or they're letting it happen so they can ultimately lock everything going to be locked down. You want to get a $5 bottle of milk, it's going to be locked down, and the manager would have to open everything. You want to get a loaf of bread, everything going to be locked down. So either that, or when you go into the store, you need a what do you call it, an app with your information in it and you're in a bank account. Excuse me. And then it's like the Amazon store. I think there's one in California. There's a video on it where you go in there, it reads on your app, on your phone. So all the information that you have is going to be in that app. And then ultimately, because you can lose your phone could fall in water. What you going to do then? Ultimately, it's going to go from that to getting the charagma put, primarily in your right hand, maybe your left hand, your butt cheek, or your forehead. Most people are going to have it in the right hand, so they can scan their hand. You scan everything, self-checkout, then you scan your hand, and you might not even have to scan your hand. That they just might pick it up on you, man, because you scanned the first time. So those are steps ultimately, and then the destruction is going to come. So what he's saying is, we're just going to go out, speak on the weekends, have little classes, this, that, and the third. We're going to have a little Passover. We're going to have this, we're going to have that. We're going to march. We're going to have classes. And then one day we're going to be looking up in the sky and there's going to be ships and we're going to be at, nope,
No, 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 no. It's not going to be that easy. Everybody's going to be confronted with receiving that charagma. Revelation 20, verse 4. If you don't receive it, some of you are going to be cast into prisons. Revelation 2:10. And it said, be ye faithful unto death, and I will give you a crown of life, something to that effect. Revelation, what is that? Revelation 3 verse 10. It speaks about the hour of temptation. Or in some, like the NLT, I think it says the time of testing. Because everybody, there's going to be breaking news. You know, you're happy with your smartphone. You can scan things. But ultimately, I believe he was the CEO of Nokia at the last World Economic Forum meeting. He made a statement. He said, you know, everything gonna be in your app and your phone, but ultimately it's gonna be put in your body. Hence the word, was it biometrics? Anytime you hear the word biometrics, it means a technology being put in your body. The fingerprints, they have digital fingerprints. You can use, you know, go to your phone, your smartphone, and you can go to where it says fingerprint, and you put your fingerprint in there. It records it. So the only one that can go into your phone is you, because you have the fingerprint. That's biometrics. Ultimately, biometric is when they put the chip in you, and they're going to put the chip in you. We're not going to get out of here. We're not going to be delivered. This place is not going to be destroyed until the prophecy fully comes to pass of the charagma. And look, I hope this is the last time I got to say this. The ones of you that can't see it, you can't see it because the Most High have blinded you. Read Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9 on down. If you can't see it, read what is that? Isaiah 29. Read Isaiah 28. Read Ezekiel 3. Read Ezekiel 2 and 3. Because it says, eat the roll, eat the whole roll. You haven't ate the whole roll, because if you ate the whole roll and Yahweh Shem Yahushua was dealing with you, you wouldn't be teaching like this. See, somebody says, anybody have info to Connecticut with the camp? Each number, if you go over each number has a bar, you know, with a certain type of thickness to identify when they scan it, to identify what this particular product is. So you have number one, you have number two, which is. Remember, this is a prelude, and these numbers, this represents a 6, that represents a 6, and that represents a 6. Now to prove that, here it is. That's 6, right? What do you see? You see two thin lines. So we know that this represents a 6. And it wasn't gonna make it obvious, because if you went and you saw it, you said 6, 6, 6. Oh, wait a minute, that's the mark of the beast. There was a reason why they didn't give you. And this also represents a 6 too, also. But this is the proof. That's 6. What's the barcode? Double thin line that looks just like these. So this would be 6, 5. This would be 6, 6. Believe it or not, this will be 6, 6. This also represents a 6. And that's how the computer reads it. So this is based upon the 6, 6, 6. Okay, this is Malak Judah, tribe of Judah Khan. Them dudes are a joke at GMS. So I believe, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Okay, this is 419. Let me go to Malak Judah. Okay, normally it'll say it'll take me to the page. Let me try it this way. Let's go to Mr. Malak Judah. He could be down with him, I don't know. Let's see what comes up. Okay, Malak Judah. This has to be him. Okay, let's go to the about. All right, he set up 2013. We're talking about 10 years ago, almost 11 years ago. Let's see how many videos he has. He has one video, Israelite Easy Fringes. Let's see the playlist. Nothing. Channels, nothing. About, nothing. Nothing from nothing. The Memphis, Tennessee Israelites are waking up. Glory to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Where do you think he got that from? One of the One West members. So this man been on YouTube. This man, Malak Judah, been on YouTube for 11, almost going on 11 years. And the only video he's got up, and it's a 6-minute video, Israelite Easy Fringes. So that's as far, let's say, you know what, this man makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna start following Malak Judah. You gonna watch this one video a million times? Let's come back over here. Let me come back to Malak Judah. Let's come back to the great and fabulous Malak Judah. Where is he? At Tribe of Judah Khan, them dudes are a joke at GMS. So all of us, myself, the bar, all of us. And these guys started from us. They came, oh, shalom, I want to salute the elders. Here it is, GM mess. Oh, it's going to be a mess when you're going to have to line up and take that charagma. And if he says, and I hope he doesn't say that, when it actually comes up, I want to see what this guy's going to say. The very day that they do breaking news, I'm going to go right to this page right here. I'm going to go right to this page just to see what he got to say. There's going to be a lot of confusion out there. So now this guy is going into the, matter of fact, let me come back.
Right? Now listen to this madness. He went into the scriptures.
Okay, he called what we're teaching madness. You heard it. He said it with emphasis. Listen to this madness. And then the Apostle Aram Lab, he goes into breaking it down, goes into the prelude, the intro to the beast. And like I said, this thing's been in the work since the 70s, mid to late 70s. Maybe the 80s.
And the precepts and calculated the number of the beast. Come on. And we went into it and showed you what the number of his name means and what Israel means. Now, let's see if there's any scriptures in this.
Each number, if you go over each number has a bar, with a certain type of thickness to identify when they scan it, to identify what this particular product is. So you have number one, you have number two, which are two lines which are spread apart. You have number three, which is two thick lines spread apart. You have four, I'm sorry, this is something else. You have 4 here, this line here, then you have number 5. So the way they're set up, then you have 6. Now 6 is what? 2 small lines.
All right, that's enough of that. It's just winging it. Just winging it.
They're gonna have a lot. He ain't winging it. He's breaking it down. And this clown says he's just winging it. He's just winging it. Trust me. Trust me. The very day there's breaking news, when you have to take the charagma, just like when the ragamuffin, Juicy Juice came out. Brother, what do we got to do? Should I take it to her? I remember brothers in my camp, men in my camp. Should I tell? What do I do? Do I take it? Because I'm gonna lose my job. I said, lose your fucking job. Get another job. Trust in the Most High. I said, I ain't worrying about the shit, and I ain't taking it, man. So he called it madness. He said, Did you listen to this madness? So the very day, breaking news, and they give you an ultimatum. Like I said, the first thing first, they're gonna get rid of the caste system. That's called that's what the great reset is about, you dummies out there, you idiots out there. They're gonna get rid of cash, they're gonna get rid of credit cards. Everything is going to be digital based upon the CBDC. Another term is the Fed Now. Somebody asked me about the Fed Now, which is nothing but the CBDC. It's going to be linked to the government. So if you go to the movies, they know what movie you saw. They know what time you saw it. They know if you got up to get a thing of popcorn and a soda. Oh, they're going to know that you drove to a particular restaurant, and that you got home at 10 o'clock at night, and that you had sex with your woman, and then you went to work and you was late at work, you were 2 minutes late at work. They're going to have a record of every goddamn thing. Once you take that correct, so it goes beyond the money. The main thing about Revelation 13 is buying and selling, because the buying and selling is going to come from you using the charagma. You can't pull out dollars no more. It's going to be obsolete. Israel School Toronto, mighty, mighty, mighty less than kings. The scriptures say in Romans to deceive the hearts of the simple. They're simple. They're simple.
It, man. Just winging it. You know how many times you have a
Apostle Ramla been in this thing for 30 plus years. We've been out in the winter times, in the rain, in the snow. We study scripture. We do videos. And mind you, he came to our camp. We didn't come around him. He came to camp with this guy right here. And Shalom Tahar, High Priest Tahar, whatever, Elder Tahar. I'm from, where is he from? Baltimore, whatever. I just want to, salute you, brothers. We're trying to put a camp together. These are young men. Oh, that's good. And we would keep teaching, and they would be standing in the audience. And I said, if you have any precepts, bring your precepts. So I'm thinking like he's getting ready to get down with GMS. Like I said, little did I know that some weeks he come to our camp. Well, he came to our camp, I think 2 or 3 times. I know 2 times for sure. Had some sisters with him. But I didn't know that they were going to Zabak's camp. I didn't know that they were doing a unity camp, which is madness. When you got 5 camps together and they all have certain things different from each other, that's called madness. Scriptures say that we all speak the same thing. Let's listen to some more of this madness. And like I said, I'm going to say it again. The very minute that I hear breaking news that they say you got to get a charagma, if you don't get a charagma, you can't buy anything. And they did that with the ragamuffin thing. Remember in the news, there were fights going on in restaurants. I remember when they locked everything down, we drove to Manhattan, brother. Everything was closed. This was like 7 o'clock at night. We drove down in the Times Square. Everything was closed. There were no cars, nothing. There was no people walking. You might have seen 1 or 2 people walking down the street, but where were they going? Nowhere. Everything was closed. I remember that. Everything was locked down. Remember they told you had to stay in your houses all, you can only go out to buy shit. That's slavery, man. So guess what? They're gonna come down really hard for you because they know a certain percentage of dummies. I would say 85, 90% of the people in this country are a bunch of fucking retards, a bunch of dumbasses that got their heads stuck up their asses. They're gonna go ahead and take it. But you're gonna have, okay, if you got 90%, you're gonna have 10% that's gonna buck up against it. You're gonna have Edomites that's gonna, the first guarantee, almost guaranteed. I'm almost positive that this is gonna happen. The first people that's gonna jump up and say that's the MOTB are gonna be Edomites. I'm almost positive. I could be wrong. That's the MOTB. You know what I want to say. And then the Israelites. The black conscious community, they're going to say nothing about it because they don't know it. It's not in there. Metaneta or whatever, the Book of the Dead, it's not in there. The only book that is in is the scriptures. And it's in every translation of the Bible. Every translation, it says pretty much the same thing. NLT, NIV, whatever translation you want to go to, it says the same thing. If it has a New Testament, it says the same thing. But the Most High, which is the comforter, the Most High said, I shall not leave you comfortless, I shall come to you. Meaning when you read this book, Yahweh Shai is supping with you. He's feeding you with the Spirit. He's making you see things. So is the Most High supping with anybody that can't see it? Most High's not supping with them. He's deceiving them. He's deceiving them. I hope for the sake, you got a lot of people that are following the IUIC and the ISUBK and these knuckleheads right here, the WFFI. You got a lot of people blindly following. The simple believeth every word. So I pray that they have enough sense and the Most High tap them on the forehead so they don't take it. Now, if they're slated to take it, if they're not of the elect, they're going to take it. Your mama's going to take it. Your kid's going to take it. Your woman, your girl is going to take it. Hell, your dog's going to have to get it. Let's listen to some more of this madness. Like I said, breaking news. I'm going to go to IUIC. I'm going to go to ISUPK. I'm going to go to a Wi-Fi. I'm going to go to all of them. I'm going to go to all of them just to see what they say. Because I guarantee you, if they pretend like nothing's going on, you're going to have people on their comment board saying, well, what do I do? What do I do? Is GMS right? I thought them niggas were crazy. They right.
All types of barcodes, huh? Not all for the same thing. And the UPC is only used in this place, huh? You got EAN in Europe. You got different.
That's the same thing. The RFID in Europe is known as the NFC, Near Field Communication. It's the same thing. It just has a different name. So now let's go to this. Bear with me for a minute. He said they don't even use it elsewhere. Oh, I gotta find it again. Bear with me for a minute. Just grab this again. Okay, right. It says barcode lockup. Barcode locker. Same system. Barcodes in our database. Now these are where the barcodes, right? Universal product code. The United States. He said that's just happening over here. Another place is called the EAN, which is the same thing. It's just under a different name. It's the same thing. It says an egg is an egg, no matter where you. No, that's not an egg. In another country, that's not an egg. An egg could be under another name, but a rose by any other name doesn't smells as sweet. That was the Shakespeare, meaning a rose is a rose. Whatever you call it, whatever name you give it in another language, it still does the same thing. It's red, it has a stem, and it smells. It has a certain smell on it. It says so he's wrong on that one. He says the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, that's on the other side of the pond, Australia, New Zealand, and many other countries generally use barcodes known as universal barcodes. EAN, which is a barcode under different systems. So it's international article number, which over here in the States and other countries is called the universal product code. Merchants in Europe and other areas around the world often use a barcode. There's a barcode, that's a barcode, and that's a barcode. That's why they're showing this one picture. It's just called something else in other countries. But the UPC is not just in the United States, it's in these countries right here. Notice that they're all European countries. Merchants in Europe and other. By the way, I believe the E represents Europe. It says international article number. It should be European article number. International standard book number. It's the same as the UPC. If somebody said, what does that mean? It just means the UPC. It says Europe and other areas around the world often use a barcode type known as an international article number, EAN, since it was formerly known as European article number. European article number. Now they call it international product. And if you notice, and this is the beast, when it says the mark of the beast, where is this system coming at it? From the Europeans, Americans, Canadians, UK people. These are all members. These are members of the beast, the NATO. This is a member. He's a member. The UK was a former member of the EU, which represents the 10 horns, but it's a member of NATO now, but it got out the EU. Australia is, I believe, an EU member. New Zealand, EU member. Other European countries are EU members and NATO members. That's why it says the beast, because what is the beast? The beast is this, the beast in a nutshell is NATO and the EU. The BRICS nations, that's also a beast, but it's not, you can't go to Book of Revelation and say the beast is talking about the BRICS nations, not talking about the BRICS nation. The BRICS nations is a counter to the beast system. So where is this going to come from? Who's going to give you the beast? Not Africa. They're giving it to Africa. Why do you think they send Kamala Harris over there and they got China over there? The power structure of this system that we're in is under the Europeans, which represent the beast. It says International Standard Book Number, books, which is ISBN. Books often use the International Standard Book Number, ISBN, barcode format, which is compatible with what? The EAN, all of Europe. They didn't mention Africa. They didn't mention China. They didn't mention Japan. But ultimately, all these countries will accept it because the Charagma will be issued to everybody on the planet Earth that is within the grid. Like if you're a homeless person living in a damn subway, you're out of the system. You may not get it. You got to eat out the garbage can. But if you want to actually go into a store, buy something, sell your car, everything. If you want to sell a car to somebody, your private, sell to another person, they're gonna have to take, your device, and they're gonna have to you have to put their hand underneath, and then it's gonna go into your bank account. So it's a transfer from his CBDC account to your. If it's $1,000 will go into your account. And then guess what? The government knows the car that you sold, what time you sold it. I mean, if you can't see this, if you can't see it, you're just not meant to see it. You're clearly not of the elect. The Most High said he's going to give us the whole truth. The Most High in Amos 3, the Most High will do nothing but he revealeth his secrets to his servants and prophets. So why aren't you in on the secret? Because the Most High is not dealing with you. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.